It's Friday idealism, so I should talk about something idealistic, but my idealism's fairly low right now. Because really, even if you want to care, there's so much people who don't care that it kind of cancels it out. And that's just the way it is. But this, I have two topics today. One is the graphic on the front of Peyton's talk, where it's kind of a recalibration of my thought on it. I was all about seasteads and, doing the dry parts of Spain and Mexico and stuff, which are easier, like seawater desalination there. But really, that might be dodgy. I don't really understand Peyton's graphic. I gotta understand it better.
There's a very interesting study that's come out of NASA that suggests that if we were to re-vegetate both the Sahara and the outback in Australia, the amount of CO2 that would be mopped up in the process would be equal to all of the CO2 that we're currently emitting. Now, there are many critics of the scheme which argue that it would just be too expensive and too energy intensive to do it. But I want to argue here that it may actually be possible to do it at almost zero cost.
Yeah, the important thing to note is that that map is got surface temperature on it. Like the Sahara and the outback of Australia are all blue on there. And really that's probably a factor that I've been ignoring. It's like when I talk about using seasteads and all the dry land in Spain and Mexico and stuff. I'm wrong. It's those two areas are the holders of surface temperature for the whole world. And the African death, I guess.
Okay, here's Gemma Solar. You can see it just below us now. Thousands of these heliostats, these revolving mirrors. It's just amazing. Feels like we're looking into the future. Photovoltaic is like one of the fastest growing energy sources in the world at the moment, but these aren't photovoltaics, are they?
No, not at all. They are not photovoltaics at all.
So these
Those
are just
glass, are mirrors, and they are reflecting the light on top of the tower.
The reflected sunlight from the 2,650 heliostats combined can generate enough electricity to power 25,000 homes, but only if they're all pointing in exactly the right spot. Sunlight is reflected from each heliostat onto a central receiver at the top of the tower. Sodium and potassium nitrate salts are pumped from the cold salts tank up to the receiver, where they absorb the concentrated solar thermal energy, reaching temperatures of up to 565 degrees. The heated salts are then pumped down to the hot salts tank, where they can be stored in a molten state or used to generate electricity via the heat engine.
This is the hot molten salt tank that contains the molten salts at 565 degrees. This is like a big battery, but it's a thermal battery. It's not an electrical battery. In fact, the energy which is accumulated here is enough to continue operating the turbine for 15 hours at full speed.
So this is what distinguishes this place from other solar tower generators around the world. It's actually that storage.
Exactly.
Yeah, we got into a place in chapter 6 of Martina that was like there were all these containers of salt made from desalinated seawater, just sitting around, no one knew what to do with them. But molten salt is the answer. It's like really tons of molten salt could be used in good positive ways.